Shalom, Yashar Allah. This is your brother Shamar with the Ancient Watchman. So, who is Canaan? Because we still hold that premise that Canaanites are mostly West Africans, and that was the subject matter that was supposed to be discussed last night. And as many of you brothers saw, it was completely out of order. The brothers from the Sicarii camp completely changed the script on us by not sticking with the subject matter at hand, which was to address who Canaan was. Instead, they wanted to break down Deuteronomy 28, and when they try to do that to fit the so-called Negroes, they did. Anyways, I was saying that they did a horrible job in trying to explain the curses that apply to the so-called Negroes. When we ask questions, how do you fit verses 49 down to 53? And how do Negroes fit that? How do they fit that? And so they try to jump around, try to overpower the conversation, deflect, and called us names and stuff, and so what I'm trying to say is that they didn't stick with the subject matter. We agreed to come on their channel, on their show, or whatever you want to call it, and address who Canaan is, because that was the subject matter. To address who Canaan is, and we had an amazing presentation with a lot of historical facts that we were gonna show and show to the nation. Hold on. Yeah, so we had an entire amazing presentation concerning who Canaan is, and we were gonna bring historical facts, prophetic and archaeological facts, proving that most West Africans are not Israelites, but they're Canaanites and Egyptians. So, last night discussion, a lot of people that follow the Sicarii camp, a lot of the, faithful followers of the Sicarii are going to claim victory to them, but a lot of brothers are not going to see the fact that they muted us. They muted our mics, for the most part, many times. And when we wanted to explain our, certain parts of what they were, trying to bring out, they didn't allow us. So they tried to overpower the conversation, or they were trying to talk over us, and those are little things that they were trying to do to make us look bad, and, make us basically trying to make their followers see that, that we're wrong and this and that. But the subject matter was who is Canaan, and that's what we were trying to address. That's what we wanted to talk about. And so, basically they spent 3 hours, going over Deuteronomy 28, and they were forcing themselves into the book. They were forcing themselves and the curses into the book by quoting or bringing out information that does not pertain to the subject matter. Prove who are the Canaanites, right? But anyway, yeah. So that's basically what was going on. That's basically what happened last night. Let me see. Approve. Jose, I approved you already. Come on live. Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom. Daniel, Abraham, Alejandro, hello guy, Elizabeth, Alfred, Martha, Valente, John Johnson, Jeremiah. Yeah, so basically, we have the proof to come. The reason why we agreed to come into the Sicarii show is to show and prove once and for all that what we've been saying is not a made-up thing. We're not just making this up, and again, the Sicarii camp kept on muting us throughout the entire conversation, and they didn't allow us to talk or say, bring out the subject matter. And like I was saying, that we have the evidence at hand. We had the slideshow. We had the historical facts and all the information. Um, Martha, I actually called you. You didn't answer the phone, so I don't know what you're talking about. I called you twice, and you sent me a picture of you being in the train station. So I don't know what you're talking about. So, but anyway, I hope you're good. But anyway, um, that's all I wanted to say. Because a lot of brothers might feel like, whoa, the Sicarii, came victorious and this and that. But this is not about victory. This is about really exposing who the Canaanites are, and we were ready to expose who the Canaanites are, and we know that the Canaanites are mostly West Africans. And guess what? A lot of these camps are preaching that most West Africans, or the West African, the people from the slave trade, are the Israelites, even though a lot of them don't fit have the curses. Obviously, um, we didn't bring out certain books pertaining to the curses of our people, but that was not the subject matter last night. Brandon Daniels, you was screaming so much I went to sleep on you. Well, we wasn't trying to scream, and when we were trying to scream is because Alistair was trying to overpower the conversation by trying to talk over us, or trying to talk over Jose and what Jose was saying, and basically saying, like, how do you fit verses 49 down to 53 when it's talking about being in the land? Most of the scriptures that you find is talking about the land that we were on, which is both, ancient Israel and our land over here on this side of the world. But anyways, we have an entire class that we're gonna do on who Canaan is. We're gonna bring out a lot of prophetic information, archaeological information, and historical information to prove who are the Canaanites today. And we know that West Africans, the people from the transatlantic slave trade, are the Canaanites and Egyptians. But like I tell brothers, last night was a horrible night because these brothers didn't allow us to speak on the subject matter and address the subject matter, which was what? To prove who are the Canaanites, you know, because don't nobody on planet Earth want to own the curse of Canaan, you know. A lot of people run from that curse, but who are the Canaanites, and how are they the servant upon servants, and how are they serving the tents of Shem, and who are they, the people, those Canaanites that are serving onto the tents of Shem and Japheth today? Alfred Martinez, Canaanites are a people that was cursed back in Genesis 9:25. They were cursed to be a servant of servants, meaning a slave of slaves, the lowest of the low. And they were supposed to be serving nations, Shem and Japheth. But anyway, Jose Vega, you want to come on live, bro? You want to say your piece? Let's see. Ram, Ahmad, Loya, Sicarii, we were actually prepared. We had an entire presentation on the subject matter at hand, which is who is Canaan. That was the subject matter. Your deacon changed the script on us. That was not what him and I agreed on. That's not what we came into the show for. We came into the show to show our presentation, and the Canaanites are West Africans and Egyptians as well. So but it is what it is. A lot of people that know the Sicarii and how they operate when they go into the base know how they get down. So it is what it is. But anyway, where is the Mexican Bible? What? How is that a question, bro? That's a stupid question, but hey, it is what it is. Brothers want to act stupid. Brothers want to be man pleasers and follow man, and then try to ask stupid questions like, where is the Mexican Bible? What kind of question is it? A lot of these people like are just insane, and really nothing more than man pleasers and followers of men. A lot of brothers say that we were not prepared. We were actually prepared to speak on the subject matter, which is who are the Canaanites today. That's what we came into the show to speak on, not to hear 3 hours of these brothers trying to fit themselves into the book and lie on the book. Right. Amos, that's right. We were prepared. We had a beautiful presentation, historical evidence, archaeological evidence. We have videos, 2 videos where it actually breaks it down on the history and the migration of our people. We have the scriptures prophetically speaking about Canaanites amongst us today. And these brothers didn't want to address that. They wanted to stick with Deuteronomy 28, and they wanted to bring pseudo sources and whatnot, and they wanted to talk over us. They were muting us for the many times throughout the conversation, throughout the video, throughout the the live debate or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, but they. A lot of the Christians that they were bringing out, West Africans don't fit them. And that's the big problem that we have because, like Jose Vega was saying, we've been asking, how do you fit the curses, um, you know, of verses 49 to 50, you know, uh, Brandon. Yeah, there was a lot of bickering back and forth. Supposedly Deacon Hakka was the moderator, but they were both in it. Trying to overpower the conversation, muting us when we were answering their questions and whatnot. But it was crazy. When you reveal the Canaanites, you also exploit they got. That's right, Brian. But yeah, we're gonna work on a rebuttal, and we're gonna bring all the information out that they try to avoid. Ram Ahmad, you'll just hate so-called blacks. Be honest. We do not hate nobody, and that you're bearing false witness against thy neighbor. You're in the midst of Torah. You're supposed to. You're a Levite, right? Bon Loya. I just added you. You decline. I'm gonna add you again. Boricua, Shalom. Shalom, bro. What's
Shalom,
going on?
shalom. Doing good.
Yeah, basically, I was telling the people that when we came into their show, we agreed to come into their show to discuss the matter of who Canaan is because that's the hot topic in the entire nation of the Hebrew movement today. And we came into the show thinking we were gonna be allowed to present all our information, all the archaeological, historical, and prophetic evidence concerning who are the Canaanites today, which we know are most of the West Africans of the transatlantic slave trade. That's what we know, that they're the Canaanites and the Egyptians.
Con. To what was the remark? Brother, no, brother Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Why have it echo? Hello.
Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I agree with Brandon Daniels. We When I originally talked to the deacon, I told him that I didn't want to have a debate with them unless we had a moderator. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what happened last night. Things got messy, and he did call. Well, I did have a conversation with both Deacon and Alazar. I want to say about 20, 30 minutes ago, and we're gonna do it again, but this time with a moderator because, like you were saying earlier, you hear that bad echo? That's horrible. Are you like on a radio or something from your? Yeah, I hear like a horrible echo.
Maybe it's your headphones.
Nah, I just unplugged it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Oh, tell your
we said
wife
it.
tell your wife thank you for the sandwiches and the food that she prepared for us last night. I
All right,
forgot to
thank
tell her
you.
thank you.
Um, but yeah, we're gonna. I talked to Alazar and Deacon. We're gonna, do it more in a professional setting because, a lot of people talk about, how both of us were getting, or me and Alazar were getting very heated at each other. Um, but it wasn't really fair if Deacon claims to be the moderator of the show, but he never not once muted Alazar's mic. So you hear Alazar telling me to shut the you nigga, shut the and going all crazy, you know what I'm saying? But yet they want to say I was going crazy, but how can I go crazy if weren't even able to hear what I was saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this exactly that exactly like every time I was trying to speak, they didn't want me to come out whatever I was gonna address. Like
Yeah,
if you're
because
reading down Deuteronomy, like hold on,
you were
okay, when you read
you
down
you were
Deuteronomy, dang, it's echo, man. What you saying?
basically putting them in check, and basically like putting them on the spotlight when you were questioning how do you fit verses 49 down to 53. How do West
Okay, Con,
Africans fit that?
exactly, and you're right. Every time I try to stop them while they were reading down the curses, you saw how they would not allow me to bring out the information.
Right.
Like when I said, all right, show me how y'all fit, certain curses, right? They were like, well, they went to Habakkuk, and they was going to scripture say, hey, look, look, it happened here. That's us. But what we were trying to say is, well, show us out of your history, how does that apply to y'all? You see what I'm saying? Because
Right.
this is the same argument that they used when they debated Pepe. You remember Pepe, that white Jewish
Oh, right. Right.
that rabbi?
Ernesto, show
Okay,
one,
because
bro. Ernesto Soto.
exactly when they were debating that Jewish rabbi or whatever he was, Pepe, they asked him, well, show us how you fit the curses, right? There's all show how you people fit the curses.
You broke up. Let's see. Jose, come. Uh,
Yo, you can hear me?
it's your connection, bro.
Oh, you,
You keep freezing.
but I'm still on my data. Yo, you can hear me,
Yeah.
Shamar? Okay.
Yeah.
Back what I
Yeah.
was saying about Pepe, right? When Pepe was bringing out the scripture saying, well, this happened here. Look, Josephus says this happened here. What did the Sicarii do? Show us how it was your people that did that. You know what I'm saying? That was part of that curses. And that's exactly what we were doing to them last night. And they didn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, when we were reading down the curses, what I was trying to bring out was that we can read from 15 to 65, those curses still applying after 78, way after 70 AD, according to the transatlantic slave trade of the Americas. And we have the books to
Right.
show all those curses. We both know this information. Now, when I ask them to do it, they can't do it. Oh, but look, we can show you here in the Bible. That's us. No, that's not. You can't do that because that's the whole premise of the argument. Who's the Israelites?
Or they try to quote scripture that it was already fulfilled in the land of Jerusalem, in the land of Israel. But our premise is that we're saying that how do West Africans fit all the curses, spoken in Deuteronomy 28?
And they couldn't, and they can't do it. And you notice what Alazar did, right? He wants to play now. Now he wants to play the history game. When he says, "Oh, who snatched up those West Africans?" Right? We all know that they were snatched up by other Africans and Arabs. You heard him say, "No, that's not what happened. There's different ways of happening." Then he tried to say that to prove it. He said, "Yo, prove that." But then he wants to talk about, but they were being snatched up from Spain. And like you said, their source only shows a few numbers. First started with two, then a few
Two,
more, and then a few
and then a
more, and
group.
they were just sneaking. Oh, they were just sneaking people, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's according now. That's the slave trade. No. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
and the whole point, and the whole point is that not only 49, but it has to tie in with 51, 52, and 53 of all this stuff happening in your land. They're coming to your land, a nation who's telling you don't understand, eating up your crops, killing your ox, taking your natural resources, and then during the siege of them getting you people, they made us eat our own children.
They can't prove that happened in West Africa. They don't have a proof. They can't prove that they were surrounded by other nations and our people were starving to death to the point that our people were eating their own children. They can't prove that happened in West Africa. But guess what?
Exactly.
They deflected to say, well, this happened under the Babylonians when the Babylonians surrounded, Jerusalem, and the Jerusalem was besieged all around it. We know that happened there, but show us when it happened in West Africa, because even the deacon was saying, well, we can tell that the curse is an occurring thing, like an ongoing thing. So if the curse is an ongoing thing, when did that happen to the West Africans?
When did verse 33 happen to the West Africans? Like I said.
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to.
But the thing is, what I also want to address is that they believe that this discussion was helpful to the nation. I believe it was very hurtful to the nation because instead of, like you said, instead of dealing with the topic at hand, they made it natives versus Negroes argument. That's why I felt like last night. I felt like we were debating an only Negro only camp or something. Oh look, we fit this more than y'all do. Look at the stats. Look at this. But then when we say, okay, well, show us how you fit this, we're just going crazy. We're just crazy. But even though we can show book after book, all of it, and like I said, remember, he made a statement. about verse 25. He said that show us where you guys were scattered, right? And then when I told him how the transatlantic slave trade started over here, he said that we were just took into Spain and then sold in Spain. He said,
That's a
and I
lie.
told him, well, no, we were sold throughout Europe and we also Africa. He said, no, I'll prove that. I'll prove that. Well, we didn't have the book yesterday, like I said, because we didn't prepare to talk about Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
But
We wasn't prepared for that.
they
And
know
like,
we
hold
have
on,
these books. They know
hold
we
on,
have this information. Like it
hold
baffles
on.
me how they would even try us like that.
Hold on. Check this guy out. Ram Ahmad. I don't know if you can see in the comments. He's saying, I hope you'll prepare tonight. We were actually prepared to talk about who the Canaanites are. That's what we came into the show to speak on, not the curses, because we can say we know that a lot of the so-called blacks of the West African slave trade do not fit most of the curses, or at least half of the curses spoken in Deuteronomy 28. We wasn't prepared to talk about that. We didn't have our material prepared to talk about that. We do have we had the material prepared to talk about who Canaan is. That's the subject matter at hand that was supposed to be discussed, not, oh, well, as a matter of fact, we fit discourses here, but discourses, we don't fit them here. We fit them in the land.
We want to talk about the curses of Canaan and who fits those. How about that? That's what we want to talk about. That's what I'm saying. This is what these people are scared to talk about, because they're gonna have to answer who these Canaanites are and how they fit these curses throughout history and even to today. They have to address it. They're going to have to address it. The same way they like to go to Obadiah and talk about, oh, Esau's the white man because of these characteristics and the history of the white man and what they're known for. They're going to have to talk about the same thing about the Canaanites. You know what I'm saying? The characteristics of the Canaanites, the punishments of the Canaanites, and the curses of the Canaanites. And that's what I'm saying. We're going to be on the offense because we're going to make them answer it. Who are the Canaanites?
The way they are, right. Well, right. I mean, it's almost like they're going to deflect anyway, because that's what they do. If you ask them a question, they're gonna try to deflect and change the script, change the subject matter. That's what they do anyway. But if anyone has any information of who fits the curse of Canaan, you can post it on the comment boards.
Yeah, what was his name from Sicarii? He was this here, Ram Amath Ben.
Right.
Go ahead, show us what your camp teaches who the Canaanites are and how they fit the curses. Can you please write that down? Because I guarantee you'll be the first person to ever answer it. No Negro we ever met in our life, I've met so far, don't want to touch who the Canaanites are.
It's like, yeah, because at the end of the day, like we've always been saying, some of these people are going to have to look in the mirror.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, last night they made it a Negro versus Native debate, and I think it was very hurtful to their cause and their movement, because I'm very sure you probably even got messages from brothers last night talking about how they felt a certain way about us not.
Yeah, I got messages
today. Why is he telling us that we don't fit this and this and that? Why are they talking about this? This is not the topic at hand. You see what I'm saying?
Right, and they had it planned out anyways. I mean, even the title of their video says, the ancient watchmen, versus the Sicarii, who are the Canaanites or something, that's the title. But if we really looked at it, that wasn't discussed at all.
Hold on. Deacon asked a question right here. He says, "What's Canaan's curse?"
Well, maybe he can answer it himself. Post it on the board. Deacon, you can post the answer on the board.
I don't know. I guess you don't read the scriptures, the Bible. I don't know.
Why, Deacon? Why are you mad? Why are you saying that you're big mad or whatever? Anyways, we're not upset. We're just wondering why is it the fact that we came into your show, we accepted the invitation actually, and the funny thing is that like Alistair was saying, you came into our show. Like, no, we did not. You invited us to your show. We came in thinking we were gonna discuss who Canaan is, and like the deacon was saying the other day on one of his lives, like, well, whatever these brothers are teaching is not, archaeologically, historical, and prophetic, even sound. When there is proof prophetically in the scriptures of Canaanites and their curse. There's proof, evidence, historical and archaeological evidence of who the Canaanites are today, and so, but anyway, we wanted to address it with the people because I know a lot of people are going to be saying like, well, you know, whatever is in their minds, but the subject matter was Canaan is, not who Canaan is, not the curses of the so-called, whatever West Africans. Even so, they don't fit none of those, half of those curses.
Again, since Deacon is here and Ahmad didn't want to answer the question. Hey, Deacon, who are the Canaanites according to what you teach, and how do they fit the curses and apply to them? If it's a flawed doctrine, then answer the question. If it's so flawed, you just answer the question and laugh it off.
How is it false that we're saying that
shows the weakness? That's what I'm saying.
Right, Yasharala Oscar. Yeah, we were the script got switched on us, just like these brothers do. They operate like that. Deceitfully. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
Oscar, exactly. He says, the whole topic was supposed to expose Canaan. Y'all were misled. Exactly. We were misled. We came in there prepared to talk about Canaan. I had my laptop. We had the information that we were going to just run through it.
Right.
We did not bring all of our books to even talk about Deuteronomy 28. So that's why when I was always trying to say these claims of 25 and 42, how we didn't fit it, bro, what these brothers don't know is that we have been working on a very special project showing how we fit every single one of those curses with sources, many sources of the book.
And a lot of brothers don't understand that we're working on a project right now. It's still in the works. We're on verse 31, but we're gonna prove every single verse proving Latinos and Israelites. Every single one.
Deacon,
we're
Deacon,
down
why are
to
you
verse
asking
31.
Us another question?
Without jumping around.
Who are the Canaanites according to what you teach, and can you show us the people that you say are the Canaanites applying their curses and characteristics to whoever you claim it to be? Again, show us how you fit verse 49 through 53. According to an outside source, showing it. These curses are this specific curses happening after 70 AD.
Boricua baby, that's right. That's what they do.
We can go 1,400 years later and show this how it applies to us.
The curse of Canaan was that they were going to be servant unto servants, and that they will be in the tents of Shem and Japheth serving us. And that's exactly what we see when you look at the history.
Genesis 9. All right, Genesis 9:25, Deacon. Open it up and read it.
Right. Yeah, like Boricua baby said, they want to answer a question with a question.
Hold on. He said he just wrote it again. How do you fit? You see how they're deflecting again? This is what they do.
Right. Right.
25, he's asking about 25, 42, 68. First of all, 68 is a trick question because we already showed you how that was already fulfilled in First Maccabees. And Moses says that this will never happen again. So for you to try to
Twice.
say that prove the northern or southern kingdom went on exactly to Egypt on the ships or whatever, how can I show something that was already fulfilled? That doesn't even make sense. That's not a double prophecy, stuff like that. It was supposed to happen one time only, according to Moses.
Right. Right. And this is the problem, when you read Judges chapter
Who's
3,
Judah? Who's
1 and
Judah?
6.
Who
Hold
are the
on. Hold
Canaanites?
on. Hold on. Jose, hold on. Hold on. This is why the Mosai said that these people were supposed to be destroyed off of the land. Why? Because they were going to be thorns and thistles around our sides. And that's exactly what's happening today. You read Judges chapter 3, 1 and 6. The Mosai left a remnant of these people amongst us today. Amongst us to serve us as a test because we never experienced the wars of Canaan. And that's exactly what's going on. A lot of these people, I'm not saying that all of them, but a lot of them, go back to Canaan, and that's how they act. The way they act, the way that they file the temple, the way they have the file Torah itself, shows who
Khan.
they are. Right, and the way they have the file, our women, our people, the minds of our people, our entire tabernacle has been defiled by these people, and that's what we're saying. We are trying to expose who they are so our people begin to do the separation, because the Shemite, the real Hebrew Israelites are supposed to be a separate people. But guess what? The Mosai left this remnant of people amongst us so that they could serve as a test for us to see if we really are going to keep the commandments, right?
Khan.
Deacon is saying that we went again on ships in 70 AD. Well, I thought during 70 AD you fled to West Africa. Which one is which one?
Yeah, I thought y'all fled to the mountains.
Right. I
Yeah,
thought you
you
fled
saw
to the
fled to the
mountains.
mountains on boats now.
Right.
Freaking idiots, man. But anyways,
But anyways, we're gonna end this. We're gonna do a full breakdown on this whole thing. We're gonna present all the information, all the archaeological, historical, prophetic evidence concerning who are the Canaanites today. It's up to you, brothers, to decide if you are gonna, be on the side of truth or continue to follow a lie that these brothers have been pushing out for the past 50 years. And it's just like it happened back in ancient times when Canaanites were living in our land. They were living in our inheritance, and that's exactly what they are today. They're teaching our laws. They have our books in their hands. But guess what? They have defiled the whole thing, just
hold on,
like they
hold
had defiled the entire
on.
nation
Deacon just
of
said
Canaan.
They said that even Quana admitted a lot of us went to Egypt. Stop lying. If you actually listen to what Quana said, he brought out the same information we brought out yesterday. First, third Maccabees, chapter 4, and then he even gave you he was about to give you Josephus, and he gave you two more historians showing how that was already fulfilled. Okay, gee, this is ridiculous.
Anyways,
Anybody
bro.
who's seen the debate with Alazar and Quana saw Quana say that.
And that's why they deleted that video too. That's how sneaky they are. They deleted that video because it completely exposes their nonsense. And this is obviously the brother Kanalawa is more knowledgeable, more has been studying Torah and its mysteries for the past 10 years or whatever, more time than you and I. So obviously they can't come up against what he was saying. That's why Alistair stood quiet, but he was running his mouth last night, trying to overpower the conversation, muting you when you were
Exactly,
trying to speak and all that
exactly.
stuff.
Trying to be the tough
Like,
people now. Yeah, but when Quana
yeah,
was
but
on,
but when he was talking
exactly.
to Kanala Wag, he stood quiet like a little baby. Right. But
Oh man.
you know, Latinos and Native Americans need to stop, following, all these false doctrines that are based on black supremacy ideologies from the Hebrew camps, and one West doctrines, which is, it was created based on uh, uh, Masonic rabbis that learn under the white man, Yoruba tribes that are Egyptians, according to the history. But anyway.
I don't know. Deacon's talking about it being ready now. Deacon, we ready to agree that we'll set up something when we have a moderator on, so you can't mute me
Right,
and
like they did
control the
last night.
conversation. You're gonna have to answer our
Overpower the
questions.
conversation. Right.
We understand y'all want to be on the offensive, but no, it's time for y'all to be on the hot seat and for y'all
Right.
to answer these questions. Who are the Canaanites and how are they putting these curses? Y'all can't answer it, and we have not met any Negroites or camp members to answer it. They can't answer it. They're some camps are even trying to say that the Canaanites are even white.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, some people are saying that
white
some
supremacy.
people,
Trying to say that white people are
yeah,
Africans now.
some people are saying that the Canaanites are the Lebanese people. When in actuality, when you look at the migration patterns of the Lebanese, they own gas stations wherever they go. They own grocery stores wherever they go. So how are they the Canaanites? Hold on. How are they the Canaanites if the Canaanites are supposed to be the lowest of the lowest, servant unto servants? So how are they the servants when these people actually hire Latinos and blacks to be working for them? So how are the Lebanese people Canaanites? That brother David Russell, I think that's his name. He's been spreading all this bullshit, nonsense, stupidity that Canaanites are actually the Lebanese people.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you, that's pressing white supremacy, and that's why you see a lot of these white people trying to claim to be Egyptians now. They have that head of Cleopatra, showing her as a white lady. So now these brothers are gonna come up, a lot of these brothers are gonna want to now start admitting that Africans are white people now too, just so they can try to escape that person of Canaan. But they love their Zondervan Bible dictionary, and we already know that. We already know that the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Canaanites were dark races. They can't get around it.
Yeah, man. But anyway, uh, anything else you want to say? I don't know. Just wanted to send out a message to the people that watched the video. I got a lot of calls and messages on inbox saying that they didn't watch the whole thing because, how unorganized was the whole thing. It was just everybody was screaming. Alistair was screaming at you. He was calling you all types of names, and then Deacon was muting you. Many times I had to stay. I had to stay. I had to leave my hand right next to the screen like this so I cannot mute Jose Vega because Deacon kept muting Jose, which is nonsense, bro. Like, let the brother speak. Just like, and it's funny because when Alazar was trying to scream and overpower the conversation, he didn't mute Alazar, but he muted you though. You know.
Multiple times, more than 10 times during that whole feed, more than like 10 times, bro. It was, like I said, it was horrible, man. It was horrible, and like I said, we really just wanted to just discuss who Canaanites were, and I was just very disappointed that
Deacon just asked.
hours.
Deacon just asked, when did the Canaanites get brought to a low state? Wow.
To a low state? What do you mean, like hell?
Yeah.
Or we would say like
Deacon, what you mean? Low state as in hell or low state in slavery? Oh. Anyway, bro, servant of servants. Right, servant of servants. Go ahead, prove it. Who are the servant of servants today? what kind of people, what kind of nation. Yashub bin Dawid. It was horrible, bro. It was completely out of order. It was unorganized. Supposedly the deacon was supposed to be the moderator, but he kept muting us and asking the question with the question, and um, it was bad. But anyway, Shalom Ephraim Rivera, Shalom, Amen, Shalom, brothers. We're about to sign out.
You just got what time you got out of work?
No, I called it out.
Yeah, I know you probably was tired, man. You left here like almost
No, I
3
was
o'clock in
hella
the morning.
tired, bro. My alarm went off. My alarm went off at 5. Like, nah, I called in.
Brian Hughes, bet you think Mexicans are not Israelites with that God come they teaching. I don't know what he's meaning by that.
No, he's actually Brian Hughes, actually a black man that knows that black people are Canaanites.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Efraín Rivera, ¿cómo estás, hermano? ¿Qué me cuenta? Bendiciones.
What is it? Amos? I'm sorry, brother. You said, are we speaking about Canaanite tonight? Nah, I work a third shift job. Last night I was off work, so I agreed to go on his live channel.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna do a class. We're gonna do a complete breakdown, historically, prophetically, and archaeologically, showing you who the Canaanites are today. But yeah, man. That's what we
Edomite
wanted to
doctrine
discuss last
pushers.
night. That's
I don't even know what
we
the
had
hell
a
that means,
we had an
William. What?
amazing preparation, an amazing slideshow, and a lot of information that we wanted to bring out. But 3 hours of listening to these brothers, twist the scriptures, twist historical stuff to fit them, and it was nonsense. It was completely. It was just I would say like a waste of 3 hours, basically. A waste of 3 hours.
I was very, like I said, I was just very disappointed in how it is. I'm very disappointed in myself because I told the deacon that I would not go live with him unless we had a moderator. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew how Sicarii gets down sometimes. You know what I'm saying? This is not the first time Sicarii has gotten out of order with other guests.
Right.
Pepe, was it other guy? Was it Black Judah? What was his name?
I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't care to count the number of times they've done it.
The Alazar, he brought up Alazar's mom during the debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been just a lot of stuff like that happens when you don't have a moderator to control the situation.
Moderator, right? Yeah, it's completely out of order, bro. And they didn't stick with the subject matter, but yet their title of the video is like, "Who are the Canaanites?" And yet, when you go into the video, nothing about Canaanites was brought out. Not even one single information was brought out. I mean, we kind of brought out a page.
It is still funny that you still have these camp members talking about, oh, y'all got cut last night. But every single time we ask you guys to show your history to Deuteronomy, y'all can't do it. Y'all can't do it. Y'all can't show anything past 70 AD. Y'all can't do it.
Right.
Y'all keep laughing, this and that, but y'all can't do it. Notice they're putting clown faces, but no one can post any books, no sources. Hey, look, Vega, look, this is us fitting this curse right here. Shut down. They can't do it. They don't have any scholars.
That's what they said. They said,
hold on.
They said checkmate. They said checkmate.
Yeah. Remember that foolish statement that when you got on with Deacon and he asked you when you quoted Hebrewism from West Africa, he said, "Well, what do you get your source from? That's not even reliable, right?"
Right. He was trying to ask me
Hey,
if my
well,
evidence was reliable.
your scholar got his sources from Hebrewisms of West Africa also.
Right,
So if
which is
you're
the
gonna
book that they
question
quote and they use a
our
lot.
source, then you're gonna have to throw away this book. You guys are cut. You guys are done. We camp doctrine is so garbage. It's so easy to debunk. It's
It's garbage.
you guys want to talk about.
Garbage.
You guys want to keep talking about. Oh, the 12 tribes started off as Negroes, right? But then, according to your own table of nations, Moab, Chinese, Ammon, Japanese, Elam, the East
They're all
Indians,
Shemitic.
Ishmael,
They're all Shemitic.
white man Esau, and who looks more like all those people? I'm very sure we have a couple of only Negroites watching this. Matter of fact, what's his name? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? I saw. Ariel Israel. What do you call us? You call us Spaniards. You call us Mongoloids. You call us Arabs. You call us all types of names. You're the only Negroite. See, you see how we got this? You see how we got this doctrine? You guys claim it's from debating idiots like you. You guys are exposing how you're the Canaanites and the Egyptians and all these other things, and not a lot of you are not even Israel. You guys are exposing it, not us.
Yeah. So let me touch on what you were saying, because you were saying that all the Shemitic nations that live on the side of the world, we can pass up any of the other Shemitic nations on that side of the world. Yet there's a group of people that claim to be Shemitic or Shemitic tribes, but they can't fit into those nations. Meaning,
I don't exactly. I don't see Negroes getting called. I don't see Negroes. I don't call them going Mongoloids. No,
right?
but that's Asians, right? But according to their table of nations, that's Ammon and Moab. Cuts, man. We got cuts for camp doctrine all day. It's easier. It's easier to debunk their stuff than the only Negro, even the only Negroites. Here, Ariel, Israel, right? Because he keeps talking about Israel is all black. Read Acts 13 and explain why Simeon was the only person called a Niger amongst the other prophets, plural,
Checkmate.
and teachers,
Checkmate.
plural. So then what were the other teachers and prophets? Non-black.
Non-black.
Cut.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
You know what I'm saying?
Checkmate.
Like you only Negroites are so funny, it's laughable. We don't need outside sources. We go straight to the scriptures with everything, man. This is ridiculous, man. It's everything with these people is just ridiculous. Like they can't show how they fit all the curses. Now, if they want to make it a battle, hold on. Now, if they want to make it a battle, who fits more of the curses? They know they're gonna lose that battle too.
Hold on, Deacon. You can pass like black East Indians. We actually have black native Mexicans, Aztecs, Incas, Taínos. We have black, and guess what? They don't look Negro. You know, those are people from the slave trade that amalgamated with our people. But we have black natives today, indigenous. So yeah, our people can pass up black Indians, Hindu people, whatever. We do.
That's what I'm saying. Like they can't. Like I said, these brothers don't understand that. They'll call us what, keyboard warriors, but we battle people with different beliefs every single day, while a lot of you campers are scared to go on these sites and debate these people. We do it all the time. This is how we can cut the Negro Israelite doctrines so easily. And not only that, but these camp doctrines using their own logics, their own books. You might as well throw this away, Deacon. Because you want to question Hebrewisms of Africa, go to the sources, and you'll see that he got his information from them.
Jose, okay, let me address this real quick. The Ram Ahmad Banloya, the Sicarii, he said, the salt of the earth. When the Bible speaks about being the salt of the earth, the job or the purpose of salt is to preserve. To preserve what? To preserve our ways of living. The Torah is not talking about oh, you are the salt, you are better at sports, you're the better at athletics, running, or better at singing or jumping. It's not talking about that. That's not what it's going into when it says ye are the salt of the earth.
Or
When
copying
it's
your
talking about salt,
music
hold
and
on,
bagging
hold on.
the pants
Right,
and
it's not talking about that. When it's talking about being the salt of the earth, salt, the properties of salt back in ancient times was used to preserve meats so that meats would not go bad. That was the job and the purpose of salt. So when the Most High calls us being salt of the earth, it's talking about that we're supposed to be the preservers of the truth, the guardians of truth, the watchmen of the truth. That's what it's going into being the salt of the earth. It's not going into, oh, you're great at sports, oh, you're great at basketball and football and jumping and running. That's not what it's going into. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that Canaanites were stronger and mightier than we are, meaning they're stronger, they're mighty, they're taller, they're more fit, they're better at running. I mean, the Bible says that we came in into Canaan before the takeover. Canaanites had already established themselves into
David,
Canaan.
David and Goliath. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, greater and mightier than us, man. Come on, man. And again, the arguments that they bring up just proves further how they're the Canaanites, the characteristics. Ezekiel 28, verse 1 and 2. What other nation goes around talking about that they are gods, their women are the gods, they see in the sit of God. They are, they are God.
Let
I
me
don't
answer.
even
Let me
see
answer.
white people saying that.
Let me
Most white
answer.
people are
Let,
atheists.
let me answer. Let me answer the deacon. He asked me a question. He asked, the Sidonians were rich kings. When did they become servants? Well, you read First Kings chapter 5, 1 through 8, and basically read the whole chapter when Hiram was hired by kings to build our temple, and that's exactly what's happening today. You guys were hired to build our temple. Just like King Solomon hired, these Canaanite Hamitic people to build our temple because you guys have great sculptures. You guys were better at masonry and all these other crafts and whatnot. We, under King Solomon, hired a bunch of Canaanites and Hamitic tribes to build our temple. And guess what? The Most High Yahweh has hired y'all to build our temple. But guess what? You are doing a horrible job. You have defiled the entire nation of Israel. You have defiled the teachings of Torah, and you're teaching a lot of nonsense and spreading a bunch of lies with your black supremacy ideologies and West doctrine. That's why the Most High set you up to build our temple. Guess what? This temple is going to be destroyed. The whole setup that you have built is going to be destroyed. In order for what? In order for us to rebuild again, just like it was happening under the times of Nehemiah. And what did we say to the Asherites and the other nations? We don't need your help. We are good. We are going to rebuild on our own. And that's exactly what we are doing and we're saying. We don't need you. We are going to build on our own because guess what? You have defiled the entire temple. And that's why, that's, the Sidonians, the Hamitic Canaanite tribes were servants under King Solomon as well.
I just
The
want to.
question will be when did the curse of Canaan was lifted up? If they serve under King Solomon, when did the curse of Canaan was lifted up? Anyway,
He said again. This person just said, "Where is the prophecy of thousands of Canaanites keeping commandments at the end time?" Did you not just hear how the Canaanites helped King Solomon build the temple, and that's the reason why it was destroyed in the first place, because the temple was defiled. Same thing again. There's nothing new under the sun.
right. And a lot of people don't understand, like Brother Kanala was saying, these are the mysteries of Torah. Torah is basically a multi-dimensional scriptures. Torah has multi-dimensional understandings. Just like Jose Vega was saying, that which had been, which is what? Canaanites building our temple, meaning that which had been is that which shall be, and there's no new thing under the sun. So just like It was under the during the times of King Solomon when he hired Canaanites to build our temple, the sculptures, wood masonry, wood masons, carpenters, this and that and the third. They were there and put into our service to build our temple, and that's exactly what's going on today. That's exactly what's going on today. You was just given a small dispensation of time for you to build our temple, and you're doing a horrible job. You're doing a horrible job.
He says, so Hispanics and Indians
But
are the tribe of Judah.
that which should be is that which should be, and there's no new thing under the sun. You know, and a lot of these brothers use Zechariah 12:7, where it says the tents of Judah shall be saved up first, and they use that scripture to say, well, we have the supremacy to teach the other tribes this gospel, but they can't explain the fact that there was a great awakening in South America back in the 1950s, waking up prior to the so-called blacks.
Even prior to that.
Meanwhile, right. Right.
There was Hebrew communities in South America, like was around the first war, the second World War II, probably one of those times.
Right.
Around that time period.
But anyway, bro, you know, our people gotta. It's not conversion. There was nobody. No Negro was teaching this Hebrew movement that began back in the 1950s, prior to the so-called blacks supposedly waking up into creating a Hebrew movement. You know, these people back in South America were already waking up. So the question is, if you brothers are trying to apply Zechariah 12:7 to say the tents of Judah shall be saved at first, you see, brother, this is why we woke up, and this is why we're teaching y'all, because we woke up first according to Zechariah 12:7. But if that's the case, apply that same scripture to the South American tribes that were waking up prior to your supposedly awakening.
Hold on, Deacon just said, and they didn't push the truth worldwide. So you have Israelites right now in China, like that are part of your camp or something?
Right.
Or any camp of yours? Or any camp that you know of? These Chinese, these Vietnamese, these Filipinos are like, hey man, we heard that America, y'all kicking this doctrine, man. Yo, I'm from this tribe. Show it.
Well, when you look at the numbers of the Hebrew awakening in South America that began prior to the so-called black man, by the way, let me point that out. When you look at their numbers, they're in the millions. Guess what? It's just that you brothers don't want to deal with that information. And guess what? I am going to bring one of the elders to speak with me live and set the record straight for a lot of you, because a lot of you don't want to deal with that information, and you have kept it secret from our people, right? You don't want to deal with that, but I'm going to bring one of the elders. As a matter of fact, I've already spoke with him on the phone, and he is going to set the record straight to a lot of you.
So what they do with the internet? They made it better?
The Inca Jews were converts. Prove it. Prove that they were converts. I already spoke to one of the elders. Prove your case.
No, when Deacon said that they were converts, that's what he's saying, that the ones in South America are converts. But I thought the people in South America are Israelites. So I thought that's what you guys teach. How the hell can they be converts? They're Israelites. Dumbass. So what is he talking about, man?
Converts.
Do we have to pull out your 12 tribe chart?
He said they don't claim ethnic Jews. They are converts. You are lying, Deacon. You are lying. These people woke up prior to you so-called Negroes. You were learning under Masonic rabbis. You were learning under the white men and their ideologies. As a matter of fact, your Rabbi Ford, when you brothers can research, we're going to do a breakdown on how this whole mass garbage of the Hebrew movement began. We're going to do a breakdown on the whole thing, and we're going to expose it all. Right? But the whole thing began with rabbis and masons. How is that? How is that righteousness?
Mm-hmm. So Deacon, Zebulon are they're not the Mayans anymore? How about Usher? They're not South Americans, so South Americans are not Israelites anymore because they're converts.
Right.
Naphtali, no. Throw away your 12 tribe chart. See, this is y'all want to talk about double talking. Look at, and this is what I'm telling you. You brothers need to realize it. They're making this a native against Negroes. They are vexed. Because look what he's
We're
saying.
vexing
Look, people are
nobody.
not paying attention to what he's saying. Last night, anybody who's watching right now, press 1 if you guys heard Deacon say multiple times, hey, you guys don't fit this curse at all. How many people heard that?
They claim to be ethnical, the part of the tribes. They teach that the Most High put the Spirit on them to wake up now in these last days. They do teach that they're the actual ethnic Israelites, ethnically, bloodline wise. Deacon.
You know what I'm saying? And how many times did you hear Alazar and Deacon say, oh, the Negroes fit this way more than the Hispanic and natives do?
Right.
How many times did they say that?
A lot of
So,
times.
like I said, that was just a bad build because at the end of the day, a lot of these only Negro Israelites are going to be like, hey, look, these camps are showing, look at this video of them showing these Hispanics, look, they don't fit these curses.
Right. So they did a disservice. They did a complete disservice
Exactly.
to our nation.
Exactly. Because they wanted to deflect from talking about the topic at hand.
Right. If we would have stuck,
You know what I'm saying?
if we would have stuck with the subject matter at hand, it would have been different. You know, I think the nation would have been more edified, so that we could clarify what we've been saying, like canonize, this and that and the third. That should have been more edifying.
Deacon answer, two. First of all, I didn't even give the option of a two, but all right. Yo, Deacon's a clown, man. He's a funny guy, man. Yeah, but you gotta love these guys,
Who
man. You
gets
gotta love these guys. You notice, look, you got William Watson, you got Deacon here, you got all of these camp members and Negroites watching right now. Not
right?
one of them can show an outside source as how they fit. Oh, let me get my script.
The fact of the matter is, when you read Sicarii,
how many times? No, like I said, how many times did I have to stop the Deacon to try to say, well, how do you fit this? It wasn't just one or two scriptures, because that's what Alazar did, right? And even Deacon did it. He said right now, he said, show us how you fit 25, 42, and 68. 3. How many times did I stop him last night? Like 10 times? You know what I'm saying? Asking them to show me how they fit this and this and that. So let's not play that game.
And you know what?
Way more than y'all.
You know why? You know why it took that long? Because they had to forcefully force themselves into the book and try to like forcefully push a lot of pseudo information, saying, well, we fit this because we're getting incarcerated more, and all this other nonsense. But when we do our video, when we do our full breakdown, every single verse is going to be covered with history. Like I said, we've been working on that project for a while. We know we're down to verse 30 something, I would say, on the breakdown. But we're gonna prove every single verse concerning Native Americans on this land, Not like these brothers try to say, well, these verses were fulfilled in the land, but not in West Africa. But these majority of the curses were fulfilled in the land, but not in West Africa. But yet you claim that West Africans are Israelites. So how in the hell are you gonna say that West Africans are the true Israelites when you saying that these curses were fulfilled in the land? And yet on the other hand, you say, well, these curses are an ongoing thing, but show when these curses got fulfilled in West Africa, and you yourself said it that it's not. Deacons, you said it yourself that the curses are an ongoing thing. Yet you can't prove some of the curses that happened in West Africa. It didn't happen. So you lied to the people.
Ahyash and Jose, I don't hate you. I know you don't. Ar Aria, Ra, whatever his name is. You and me already got on the Texas and messengers.
Aria is
You
funny,
start
bro.
off
We've been
nice, and
dealing
then
with
you
this
start off
clown for
arguing once the
years.
cuts start coming down. When I start bringing out the scriptures, man, you start cutting them. Oh, now fuck you,
Cut,
blah, blah,
cut.
blah.
No,
Cut.
hey,
And then
he's
you come back
Aria.
apologizing a day later.
Aria is always asking like, "Show me the ships, show me the ships." In 2 Corinthians 13, that's all he has. That's all he saw argument. But we still love you, bro. We still love you. Believe it or not.
And if
With all your hatred,
and
with all your hatred against
no,
Latinos and Native Americans, we still love you.
I'll even give a shout out to Deacon because he took a quick jab at what was that Judah you know the dude I'm talking about the guy that looks like he's drunk.
If he's a clown, what's his name? What's his name?
You know he's the leader of that site, whatever.
The group, yeah, the group
Yeah.
that you and I got kicked out of.
Yeah, but Deacon, I believe you and him were on the same night.
Oh, Jeremiah Judah, that's his name. Jeremiah Judah.
Yeah, yeah. When Deacon cut him real quick when he tried to bring up Second Ezra 13, he just gave him a little quick jab.
Pass over.
I admitted that I was laughing at that. You know what I'm saying? I personally
Yeah, I was
probably would have
laughing at
used
that.
the Book of Psalms. You know what I'm saying? But it was a funny quick job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? Because a
You
lot of
know,
these brothers, a lot of these brothers like RA, this crazy, man.
Yeah, man. You're a clown, brother. You are a clown. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're a clown, but we still love you. You got love from us. You got love from us, bro.
And the thing is that you know we're not known for making posts bashing brothers, but you know that's all we see that the camps are doing, and of course the only Negroites they hate my guts on all their sites. How many? You know, at one point they were making like 3 to 7 posts a week about me, just like they for like months. I even have stalkers to this day, like Obadiah, and Obadiah King, what's his name? And then now, what's the new one? The Quan. And, yo, these brothers are crazy, man. I got too many stalkers, man.
Oh, Jeremiah Bell.
The who?
Aria, man, you're a Canaanite. Aria, we know you're a Canaanite. You can't run from your curse,
Who?
son. Aria, see what he says? You can't run from your curse, son.
But I'm sorry. Then he says, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
And then
sorry
he says,
too. We're
okay,
sorry too.
Gentile. You see how he's double talking? Oh, I'm sorry. Gentile,
Right,
okay, Gentile.
right. But anyway, bro. Canaanites.
I'm just still shocked that we have all these brothers here and not one of them want to show an outside source about them fitting the curses that we showed them last time.
Right, right. But you
That's what
know,
I'm saying.
brothers need to
They're
stay
becoming
tuned
worse than
because
Christians.
Jose Vega and we're working on a beautiful project that we're going to present, and it's gonna be beautiful for Latinos and Native Americans.
You
Yeah,
said
you're a
what?
clown, brother. Deacon, I'm going to bring an actual elder that he's going to set the record straight for all of you. It's gonna be live. It's going to be live, so a lot of brothers are gonna watch. It's going to be in Spanish. You know, maybe you should start studying Spanish so that so that you can brush up on your Spanish, so you can understand what we're gonna bring out. But I will be interviewing a elder from South America to explain how the entire Hebrew movement began back in the day. So anyway. Oh, anyways, man, I'm gonna
Let me
go
say
eat, bro.
tonight
I'm
should be
starving.
Send you what information?
What information was he talking about?
Oh, about the Iglesia school?
Oh, right, okay.
The Iglesia de Pacto. But again, there are more multiple schools. You should also talk to that brother. What's his name that you had a debate with not too long ago? About a year ago or something like that. Was it Steve Alvarez, the brother from Mexico? Even he was
Oh,
bringing out information how there was plenty of Hebrew schools all throughout Central America too.
yeah.
And if you go and do research, you'll see that there are many uh I would say Jewish communities all throughout South America, around the World War I and World War II, I believe. You can look it up.
You know,
So
brothers.
your brothers
Yeah,
need
brothers
to
will,
look up this
brothers
information.
will say,
I'm not gonna speed fool you guys,
right. Brothers will
You
say,
know what I'm
brothers will
saying? I'm
say
not
that.
gonna speed
Well,
y'all my babies,
brothers will say that Nate Turner, knew that he was an Israelite, but we can bring out information that a lot of people knew, like hundreds of years prior to so-called blacks, supposedly knowing that you were Israelite or not, whatever, So we got sources to prove that as well.
Why did it take
Anyway,
so
man.
many years to hear about them? Do you know how many followers that church or the congregation has? Deacon Hagar?
They're everywhere. They're really everywhere. And when I spoke to the
By
elder,
the hundreds of thousands.
when I spoke to one of the
They
elders, they were actually in elections. They're about to take over the entire country, in elections. So they're gonna have like a Hebrew Israelite in the in the office, pushing statutes and commandments from the office as being the governors and stuff. So they're actually in the election process. I'm not sure if all of them won, but a majority of them won in their provinces and stuff. So there's a complete takeover within the government of our people. But anyhow, yeah.
exactly, a lot, like I
Well,
said, a
when you
lot of these the people they don't want this information, and if they do, they want to be, saying like baby food. Feed me. No, do your own research. We have other things. I read plenty of books. My wife could tell you how sick she is of how much studying I do, how much reading I do. Say it, babe. Go ahead, tell them. So, she's on headphones. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, we don't have time to be spoon feeding people, man. Like I said, if you're really interested about some information, go on our pages. We make posts. You can go to Quanta's page. You can go to our classes. We just address many things and brought out many sources. Like right now, a lot of y'all don't even know that a lot of the Negroes that came to North America came as indentured servants. We have
bring that
many
out,
records showing exactly when we brought out John Punch, when we brought out Anthony Johnson, we brought out John Kaser, you know what I'm saying? And these people, like Anthony Johnson, was a slave master who earned his freedom in 1630 and became a slave master himself. They were
right?
and according to the record, it shows that John Punch was the first actual African to leave his freedom for life, and that happened in 1640. So prior to
So prior
1640 to
to 1640 to
1619,
1619,
what were most of those Africans
what
that
were
came over
most
here?
of
They
those
were
that came over here? They
indentured
were
servants.
indentured servants.
We have your
We have
scholars,
your scholars,
your Harvard
your
scholars,
Harvard
black Harvard
scholars,
scholars,
black Harvard
telling
scholars,
you that
telling you that
28% of
28%
Negroes were
of
freed
Negroes
in
were freed in
was it Louisiana?
was
I
it
believe you said.
Louisiana? I believe you said.
I believe it's
I believe
Louisiana
it's
or something like that.
Louisiana or something like that.
You see what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
Like
Anyway,
we give you
William
people
Watts.
these sources.
We give you people these sources.
William Watts. William Watts. You know, we've been bringing this information out for the past 3 months. Yet nobody has been able to debunk what we've been saying. So this is not a weak fame. This is not about fame at all. You know, this is we don't care about fame. We
Yes,
don't care about
Deacon
followers.
has
You know.
been exactly. Deacon has been trying to get us for like for what for 3 or 4 months now.
Well, you know, and they got the Kana Lawa, and when he came into their show, you know, the next day they deleted that video completely out of their channel. You know, because it exposes their lies.
Exactly, Abel. It's not about
Exactly,
fame. It's
Abel. It's
about
not
seeking the
about fame.
truth.
It's about seeking the truth.
Right.
We just want answers,
We just want
and
answers,
they're
and
refusing
they're
to answer and
refusing
deal
to
with
answer and
our
deal with
questions.
our questions.
Right. All of them. You know, and
All of them.
the evidence of that is the slanderous campaign that they do. You know, they deflecting. They're slanderous. You know, and like last night was a great example as well. We had the evidence ready. You know, but we're gonna do a breakdown, a complete breakdown, showing imagery and archaeological, prophetic, and archaeological evidence on who the Canaanites are. You know, and all of it.
What's that, Ram?
What's that,
Hama? Y'all
Ram?
going to hit the streets with this
Y'all going to
doctrine?
hit the streets with this doctrine?
What doctrine? Because again,
What doctrine?
if
Because
you know
again,
our doctrine, we
if you
believe
know
that
our
there are
doctrine, we
white,
believe that there are
black,
white,
Asian,
black,
all different
Asian,
type of looking
all different
Israelites.
type of looking Israelites.
So why would we be
So
scared
why
to
would
go
we
on a
be
street
scared to
corner
go
and
on a
preach the
street
doctrine?
corner
That
and
doesn't
preach the
even make any
doctrine?
sense.
That doesn't even make any sense.
We're not going to be in the street corners like,
We're not going
hey,
to be in the street
hey,
corner like, hey,
you're a
hey,
Canaanite. No,
you're a
we're not
Canaanite.
like
No,
you.
we're
We're
not
not
like
like you
you. We're
camps.
not like you can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If
You know what
anything,
I'm
we're
saying?
going to wake up
If
our
anything, we're going to
people.
wake up our
That's
people.
it.
That's it.
We're not gonna stand in
We're
the
not gonna
corner,
stand in the corner,
screaming at the
screaming
white
at
man. Oh,
the
the
white
white
man.
man is
Oh,
evil. This and
white
that
man is evil.
all
This is
day
all
long.
day long.
No, thank you. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
thank you.
If
You know
we
what I'm
hit the
saying?
streets, it's for
If we hit the
waking
streets,
up
it's
our
for
people and our people
waking up
only,
our
man.
people and our people only, man.
Like Jose Vega was saying, we're not gonna go out there in the street saying, "Well, you're a Canaanite," because at the end of the day, Dean Yahushai said, or Dean Christ said, "Listen, let the tares and the wheats grow together."
Oh yeah,
And
Malak.
what?
Malak.
Not just
Not
one time. He
just
was
one
muting me
time. He
like
was
over
muting
like
me
10 times. Go
like
watch
10
go
times.
watch go watch it, man.
Go watch it, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
hilarious,
Like I
man.
was saying, I had to stay with my hand right next to the screen like this because I kept unmuting Jose like this all the time. That was wicked, bro. It was wicked as hell. Amos, Shalom, Malak, Shalom. We'll talk. We'll talk later.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go eat, bro. I'm hungry. I'm starving, but I haven't eaten anything. I'm gonna be out.
true that.
True that.
All
All
right,
right.
man. I saw him.
Shalom. Yasser Allah. Shalom. Ancient Watchman signing out.